But let's round off with a bike that I almost did buy, and that's the Aprilia Shiver, which seems to have made recently a bit of a comeback. I was lucky enough to ride a used one a couple of years back for a video, and it really surprised me with a V-twin engine that was full of guts and also had this beautiful note at the exhaust, which I guess came before several rounds of Euro emissions regulations, which really have stifled the acoustic pleasure that one should be able to enjoy from an Italian V-twin. So potent was the sound and soul of that particular bike that I was sorely tempted to buy it. And thankfully, I managed to resist, picking up another bike that I wouldn't get a chance to ride with all the press bikes that I've got to get miles on in order to, make reviews. But still, I was delighted to see recently some news that this one is actually back in production, in some fashion anyway, because it's being built in China on Aprilia's behalf in partnership with Zhongsheng, who used to be called Zhongshan. Either way, technically it looks pretty much the same as the 2020 version, which was the last iteration to be sold in Western markets, although they have tweaked the bodywork and the paint a little bit in order to bring it up to date. For me, there's a lot to like here. The steel trellis frame, the offset shock, the underseat exhaust all look fantastic. And while 94 horsepower isn't a huge amount of power, certainly by today's standards, well, I found it was enough on the road. And also, like I've said, this engine's really about the character and soul more so than out-and-out performance. Admittedly, the weight is starting to look a little bit bulky, certainly for the naked segment. It comes in at around 220 kilos, but still, I'd happily go and swing a leg over this new version to relive the enjoyment that I got from it first time round. Sadly though, that might not be possible because it's, at the moment, only on sale in China. But I would love to see it back on sale here in the UK, especially if they could take advantage of those lower manufacturing costs to offer it at a really tempting price point that would kind of compensate for the fact that it doesn't really have bleeding edge 2025 levels of performance. As always though, I'd love to know what you think of it down in the comments.